It's days like today that I really love what I do, and not for somebody else's perverted reasoning. I mean, I like what I do because I get to report on stories that at certain times or certain points in time are I told you so's. And this is one of those I told you so moments that I think is going to wake up the media world. I think that they're probably already awake. They've been hearing about the fact that their corporations are collapsing and they don't want to carry the water anymore for some failed basically manipulative pieces of garbage that spread false information all the time, like CNN. That's right. CNN is a complete waste of money, and they have been for a very long time. They were so much a waste of money, mind you, that David Zaslav tried to get rid of them at the billionaire summer camp in Sun Valley, Idaho, this last spin around. They do that every single year, trying to, do deals between each other, trade these properties. I mean, Comcast might do it next time around. They've been trying to get rid of their mess and PMSNBC for a while, but we'll save that for another video. CNN is a hot mess, and they're going to start axing their very top talent. They're gone. See you later. Bye bye. And you've got layoffs coming by the hundreds. Lots of people's are just going to vanish. Look, the people that you've lied to for the course of the last 11 years about Donald Trump are finally coming to grips with the fact that they've been lied to for the past 11 years about Donald Trump, calling him all kinds of various names, and then having, well, twice over the course of those same 9, 10, 11 years, found out that, well, hey, I know we called this guy a bunch of names. I know we threw a bunch of lawfare at him that isn't going to stick. And I know for a fact that, some of the people that are in power don't like him because he's going to strip that power away. That's really what they've been trying to say with all of these lies and miscommunications and the stretching of the truth and all that other falderall that happened to us over the course of that period of time. And all of the people that got paid to do, well, all of that misinformation, they're on their way out the door too. And hence CNN gone. A kinder, gentler LA Times is coming, if you saw today's headline. And I can't imagine that the Washington Post is going to stay on their particular path either because, well, Bezos has to work with this guy. In fact, everybody has a sudden realization that now that Trump is basically the most powerful man in the world, and the second most powerful man in the world is a private citizen named Elon Musk, maybe we should, I don't know, play it straight for once. And that's what they're all going to do. But according to the Daily Mail today, CNN is planning to wield the axe on some of its high paid staff after dismal election ratings that cap off a disastrous period for the cable news network. And again, CNN is not alone. We're going to see this happen across the board. It's going to be wicked. To be fair, over at WAPO and over on the Los Angeles Times, they already got rid of some of the dead weight because they walked out the door because they wanted an endorsement for a failing candidate in Kamala Harris. Well, congratulations to the folks that managed to keep that from happening, because not only did they save the jobs of many other people at those organizations, they saw the writing on the wall. And at least these people will get another quarter to survive at the particular job that they have. But they probably need to start looking elsewhere. And I think the people who left those cushy jobs and those cushy positions of editor and copy editor and whatever other kind of editor they were, well, they also probably are going to have a hard time finding jobs because fake news media, well, there's not a demand for it anymore, and there probably won't be in the future. Regardless, according to an explosive new report from Puck Media, who seems to know the inside thing because the guy's been in Hollywood area for a long, long time, network executives will unleash sweeping layoffs in a bid to save the network's flailing reputation. What reputation? Of liars? Look, there are only so many people who can tell you so many lies so many times and maintain any shred of credibility. So Chris Wallace bailed of his own volition after embarrassing his dad for the last decade, and God rest his soul. I have a feeling that Chris is, well, probably never going to find another job. We'll set that aside for another time. But you're going to see folks like Wolf Blitzer, Jack Tapper and many of the other folks that were denied raises on their way out the door. And let me tell you, the lovely Vanderbilt that's still there in Mr. Cooper, Anderson Cooper, if you didn't know, comes from a political family from way back. Well, I don't imagine he'll be there much longer either. The highest paid guy, actually, Anderson Cooper at 20 million a year. You've got Aaron Burnett at 6, and rising star Caitlin Collins. Please help me. She's terrible, and the only reason she's in the position she's in is because she scooted a couple of other of her morning show partners to the side. Regardless, I have a feeling they may actually be on their way out the door as well, and so does the Daily Mail. According to Puck Media, though, hundreds of employees are going to be walking out that door, according to Dylan Byers, in a piece that was written on Friday. In other words, we've been seeing this for a bit. I just wanted to make sure a lot of places were reporting it. We have to jump on another piece from the New York Post. CNN boss Mark Thompson to lay off hundreds after Election Day ratings wipeout report. And I have to tell you, across the board, when it comes to cable, 24-hour news cycle folks, and even network news, they lost 25% of the ground to the new media, to people like me, to people like Nerdrotic, to people like Comics Division, to people like D-Day Cobra, to people like Tim Pool, and many, many others, whether they be on this platform or over on the Green Machine or even on Twitter. People were more interested in following trustworthy sources than they were more than a little bit compromised network services. CNN, unfortunately, found themselves, in last place during the course of the election coverage. They found themselves behind PMSNBC and a lot of compromised people over there, along with Fox News, who seemed to lead the way in a lot of different ways on election night coverage. What I find amusing is that Mark Thompson, who took over at CNN after they booted Chris Licht out the door last year, really isn't any better as far as the results he was able to achieve. In fact, in a lot of ways, very negative. Chris Licht was told that he needed to move the company more to the center so they could bring in a better audience. Well, that didn't work out well initially, and without any patience thrown at the matter, you ended up with Mark Thompson coming in and driving them even farther to the left. Not a good idea. At the moment, the workforce is coping with an atmosphere of high stress and high anxiety, according to the Puck Media reports. Thompson, the former CEO of the New York Times and the BBC, both incredibly leftist organizations, also demand deep cuts to fit the massive salaries raked in by these particular primetime stable of anchors. Yes, that's right. Anderson Cooper, you're probably going to have to take a pay cut or walk out the door. And that goes for the other 2 or 3 overly paid personalities that show up on CNN and collect a paycheck. Cooper himself anchored some, just absolutely terrible election night coverage. And his $20 million salary is far too much. Of course, as Chris Wallace walked out the door, we found out from the Ankler why. He was asked to substantially reduce his salary of $8.5 million annually. And it sounds like he just didn't want to do it. All of this reportedly is because of an reorganization plan put together by this new fella, Mark Thompson, who has again driven the network farther and farther to the left. I guess phase 1 was laying off over 100 employees earlier this year, about 3% of their total workforce at the time. CNN managed just a meager 5.1 million viewers during the course of prime time on Tuesday's election night last week, whereas primary competitor and leader of the pack, Fox News, generated over 10 million live viewers at the same time. And Rachel Maddow, doing her best Mark Cuban impression, still managed to average 6 million in primetime, besting CNN for the first time ever in the network's history. And mind you, as I mentioned at the top of the video, PMSNBC is up for sale. Sounds like Jeremy Boring of the Daily Wire may be in the market. Now, mind you, if you go back in time all the way to 2016, CNN managed about twice as many viewers. That's right, 13.3 million on Election Day. My, oh my, how CNN has fallen. To put it bluntly, I'm just not surprised. All of these old media ideas, all of these old legacy media personalities, channels, and outlets are just behind the times and they lack credibility and authenticity. And I think that's the thing they can't replace, which is why they're calling for censorship across all the electronic methods of delivery of news and, well, channels like this. So help me out. Double check that you're still subscribed to the channel. And if you're not, if it's your first time here, do so. It's free. Also, turn on the bell, all the notifications. Get that thing set to go because I do many, many videos during the course of the week, and I do a live stream every single day. Also, check out my gaming journalism effort over there at That Game Place here on YouTube, and very soon in the future, Rumble as well. And if you like this video, hit the like button. Be sure to share a comment down below about your grave concern over CNN cutting so many people out of their jobs headed into the holidays. And share this video around out there. On that note, as always, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya.